my charger out of the way there. Okay. Hey Gloria, hi Mac. Oh, my camera's a little tipsy there. There we go. I'm a little bit early, but yeah. Oh, I always get a tickle in my throat when I'm starting a video. So I'm going to get right into the meat when the time comes, so that anybody that's watching the replay doesn't have to watch a lot of other stuff. Hey Pam. Hi Kathleen. Mike's making my dinner. He's been sick. Yesterday he went down to the VA and got tested for COVID. We don't know yet. But he's been keeping his distance from me, that's for sure. All right, so I showed you guys this card here on Foiling Snobs Club, and I also showed it on Tim Holtz's website. And this is kind of a sort of a grungy candy cane that I thought I'd show you how I did. Here's another one that I did with a different shade of red, and I actually stamped a background stamp in there as well. And then another one here. Got all the glitter. So look, if you're allergic to glitter, run. Or you could always use washi tape. See here, I've got this washi tape that I got in the kit. And you could use that if you wanted to. Or you could even use foil for the method I'm doing. So I'm gonna get right into it. What you're gonna need is, first of all, you need some watercolor paper. And this is just my cheapo Walmart watercolor paper. As you can see, it's not as white as the professional stuff. And I'm gonna need water and a brush. And I use my re-inkers. And sorry, I'm back here trying to get the supplies here. And I'm going to be using Simon Hurley's, and the color I'm going to be using is Game Over. And so I like to keep them in this little container, and I know exactly where Game Over is because it's my favorite. Let me get this back out of the way. I'll pour a little water. I can't have water laying around too long or I'm going to have an accident. Okay. And then got my ruler, not for measuring, just kind of for masking. And where'd my dropper go? Here we go. And in a moment, I'll be using also this dropper that I stole out of. I use this these sugar-free drops for my coffee. And what we're gonna do here is we're basically gonna simply paint stripes, and they aren't gonna be perfect stripes. They're just gonna be stripes. So I'm gonna just kind of wet my brush here a little. Let me grab a paper towel, because I'll want to wipe my, and I'm going to grab the Game Over, and I'm just going to draw a stripe, and I'm just going to do it against the ruler, and I only need one side to be good. They don't both need to be good, because this is, after all, grungy. It's not perfect stripey. You could mask and do perfect stripey if you do. I'm going to lift my ruler and wipe it off. And I don't mind that it's bleeding there. I want it to. And then I'm going to do kind of eyeball it here and measure another stripe. I think I want to go to here. A little water on my brush. A little ink. And same thing. Just stroke the brush back and forth until the stripe is kind of filled in. And I like this color because it's kind of a more of a vintage type red. And you'll see I'm going to use that leftover paint there too. So this is a super easy thing to do, especially if you like grungy. And just do another stripe. And I'm using the smooth side of the watercolor paper. Need a little bit more water in there. Okay. Make my grungy stripe. Yeah. Drag my paint out. That's okay. Again, the idea is not to be perfect here. And this is, you know me, and I like my mixed media, and I like my grunge. You know, y'all, I put lotion on my hands and I can see it on my paper. Oh well. Make sure I'm getting the right color here because I have bee sting right next to it, which that other one was bee sting. Okay. So there's my stripes. All right. Just put my brush in the water and kind of wipe up my mess a little bit. And I'm going to get, where did I put it? I made this piece of, I don't know, papery thing. And I'm gonna now grab my dropper, close that, don't need that open right now. And I'm gonna put some water in my dropper. It's okay if it's got a little red in it. And I'm gonna make a fingerprint, try to grab this. And I'm gonna just tilt my paper and I'm gonna send a drop down the center. And y'all, I'm not looking at the camera, sorry. Okay. Hey, Melissa, Christine, Melissa, both Melissas. Okay, just sending the drop down the center. I'm just kind of tilting my paper. A little more water in here. Sending my drop down the center. And down the last one. Very simple. I'm just going to take and kind of dab off that excess, but I'm going to use it. So I'm going to take my brush, kind of dab it off on my paper towel here, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to just do some little splats. Not too many. I'm keeping them kind of small. I'm going to cover up my fingerprint there. And that's that. Let's get this wiped off and out of the way. I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to dry that. The heat tool, I notice, warps this thing, but this thing, it doesn't matter if it warps, it needs to warp. It needs to go back to where it was. You want to make sure this is nice and dry because the next step, it needs to be dry. Well, not the next step, but the step after that. Okay, now I'm going to take my water squirt and I'm going to, from about 12 inches away, start squirting water on. I want those colors to bleed out a little bit. There we go. Let that kind of do its little bleedy thing there. Okay, now I'm going to dry it. Remember, it's watercolor paper, so it will kind of curl on you. You can just straighten it out afterwards, but we will also be trimming it before we go on to the next step. This needs to be 100% dry. I mean, in a perfect world, you could just let it sit and wait, but that's just not what we do here, huh? That's why I'm not worried about these edges here, because I'll be trimming them off. gonna flip them over here. Yeah, see, I've got a lot of wet back there. Let me get that wiped up so it doesn't get all over my card front here. When the paper starts to curl straight, you kind of know it's dry enough. Just dab those off. Okay. And we're not going to be doing any embossing, so no worries about that. Let me just get this paint out of my way here. And get the water out of my way, because otherwise I will be having an accident. I'm going to get out my trimmer, and I'm going to trim this down. And I always trim from the bottom, and I want it to be 5 1/4 by 4. So I take a bit off of each side. And hey, y'all, you can decal trim this if you want to. Okay. Now, we're gonna just grunge this up a little bit more here. And I'm gonna go in with my antique linen. And a big old brush. Where'd you go? I got this big brush, and I'm only gonna lightly, and you know what, let me clean that up, otherwise I'm gonna be spreading it in. I can see it's red. You know what happens with red. All right, so I'm just gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna lightly color in here. You can go as light or as dark as you want. I don't need it super dark, but I also don't want it white, because it takes away from that whole vintage feel that I'm trying to get here. Okay, and then I'm going to use the same brush with some vintage photo, and I'm going to edge it. And I just go around with the flat part of the brush, just kind of go back and forth, edging it like that. Okay. Now we got a little bit of a vintagey look to it. Move this out of the way, clean up my mess again. Okay, now comes the fun part. So what I have here is I have this double-sided sticky tape, and it's about 1/8 of an inch. And what I want to do is I want to go choose a side, okay? And I think I'm going to choose the bottom side of each stripe. And you can do both sides if you want to, but I'm just going to lay tape along there. Burnish it down. Where'd my knife go? Get my knife, trim it off. And I want it to lay a little bit over on one edge so that I don't come up short. And honestly, you could trim this all off afterwards with scissors. No big deal. Burnish that down really well. Now you can see why I needed it to be dry. Ouch. Watch where you're putting your hand when your knife's sitting there in front of you. When I used to quilt, I used to poke myself all the time and just get blood everywhere. It would make me so mad. Okay. And now you know why I use the black mat, so I can use it as a cutting surface as well. Make sure those are all burnished down, and then I'm just going to trim them off. Okay, get that blade out of my way before I hurt myself. All right, now what I want to do is get a piece of picking this stuff up though. Yeah, come on. All right, just scoot. There we go. I'm gonna get a piece of copy paper, and I'm gonna lay this on this side of the copy paper, so I have the ability to fold it over. And I'm gonna burnish these one more time to make sure they're nice and tight. Now at this point is where you could use foil. I'm gonna be using, not foil, I'm gonna be using this glitter, but all you wanna do is just peel off the back of all the tape. That's how you know the tape's good and stuck down. If the back doesn't wanna come off, then the tape's not down all the way. And I know people said get a Swiffer. I have one around here somewhere. I just don't know where the heck it is for cleaning up glitter. And I'm going to be using this distressed glitter in Tinsel. Excuse me. Coughing already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just dump the glitter on. Glitter haters, look away. Dump it on. And then tap it off best I can here. And then I'm just gonna set this off of my surface here for a second while I get this glitter put away. And I'm sure that there's a more efficient way to do glitter, but this is how I'm doing it. See, I waste a lot of glitter when I do it that way. That's me dumping it into my trash can. Okay. Okay. I have a mini glitter vacuum, see? Works just fine. Till it starts getting full, and then it starts spitting out glitter. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually take this piece of paper right here. I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to push a lot. I want to push down all that glitter into that tape so that I can wipe off the rest with a brush. And it'll stay. Okay. So you can see there's a lot of glitter on here. I think I sucked some up. You gotta wipe pretty hard to get the excess off. You want it so when you hand it to somebody, let me get a drink here. Glitter's not going to come off on their hands. So you want to take your time, make sure you get all the glitter off. And you know what I do with this? I throw it away. And take my little ladybug here. And vacuum up all the excess. Like it never happened. Except we won't talk about my hands. It definitely won't vacuum my hands. I'm going to take a paper towel, not my washcloth, because how many times I've spread glitter onto other stuff, and just put some hand sanitizer on my hands and then wipe them off best I can. Which isn't that great. In a perfect world, I'd just be washing my hands. Okay. So that's the background. Simple, huh? And so through the magic of I did it earlier, I've got the components here. I've got my little candle, and I've got my bow and my wreath, and I'll show you what I made all those with. So the candle comes from this kit, and it actually comes in 2 candle parts, and it comes apart. So I did the short fat candle, and I used the bow from this Merry Christmas kit. This is 664-196. This one was 665552. And then I did the wreath from the Funky Wreaths, 664434. Okay, so what I did to get the colors there, I used the Distress Spray Stain Micas and Distress Spray Stains regular, and combined them to come up with a combination of greens and browns to get this look, and reds. So what I want to do first is put this on my card base. Now, what is that white? Where did that come from? I'm not going to stress on it. Let me grab a card base here. And I'm going to go with some recycled paper. Let's see. I think I want it to go this way, just like the other one did. And I'm just going to go ahead and use glue. Glue that down. Little glue, where are you? I just was using it earlier. I had to take apart my whole laminator because I was playing around with an experiment. You'd think I'd be able to see my bottle of glue here. Here it is. Because I've got little topper that Gloria made. And then just using my Reptile Adhesive, just going to go around all the corners here. I'm working on a video that I'm going to do a premiere tomorrow at some time, where basically I'll come on live with you guys and we'll watch the video together. That ought to be fun, huh? And I'm going to go ahead and just lay this down on here and give it a push. I do have glitter in my lungs. Excuse me. Okay. I don't like that white spot right there, but I'm just going to ignore it for now. I'm not too mad. Oh, Lord, it's hot. So what I want to do is decide on my layout of my wreath, and I'm not going to pop up the wreath at all. It basically pops itself up because I made 2 of each one. I made one just a little bit darker than the other. So I'm going to put the lighter one at the bottom. And I'm just going to pop a little glue in strategic places here, not all over. But you do need liquid glue because you are working with glitter. And I'm going to lay this one kind of crossways this way. The lantern would make a beautiful Christmas card. In fact, I made one. It's around here somewhere. I think I put it with my made stuff. Gonna use it one day. Because usually when I get something like this, I make something right away just to play with it. Because, I mean, who doesn't get new toys and play with them too? I bought a new phone. Don't tell Mike. I bought an iPhone 11 Pro for recording my videos. And I had to buy a new phone for myself because my Samsung S10 Plus decided to bite the bullet. and it's way out of warranty, so I can't get it replaced, and I don't pay for the insurance on it. Now, you know I work at Verizon, but we do not get our phones for a discount. We get our bill, but not our phones. So now I've got my base layer here. These guys are tangled together for some reason. Get off there. Okay, now I'm going to take my leaf layer and do the same, just put some glue here and there. My thumb. Got into a car accident in 1987 and damaged a nerve. And my pinky finger has never worked the same since. I used to play the guitar, classical. But I couldn't make my pinky finger work properly anymore. I'm going to place this one right here. The die for the wreath is, it's called Funky Wreaths. It's 664434, Funky Wreaths. Okay, grab my other one. I'm gonna have to go grab my glasses cleaners. I'm sweating into my glasses. It's gonna rain here like mad. It's so crazy, the weather these days. It cooled off and then it got hot again. So, and I'm gonna go, where do I wanna go with this one? I'm gonna go here. And see, then the wreath comes with these extra pieces too that you can put in, which I'm going to. These dies, I lose them all the time. They drop on the floor and they're impossible to see. Yeah, I'm gonna need my tweezers, okay. So I'm gonna start with my brown extras. I'm just gonna pop a little glue right here. And just kind of tuck it under so it's sticking out a little bit. Take this long one, just a little glue on the end. Oops, drop one on there. It's okay if I got glue on that leaf because dries clear. There we go. Oop, get back down there. Okay, that's all right. They're itty bitty. Okay, and then we'll start tucking in the green ones. And I break that ribbon every time. Uh-oh, where's the missing? There's a missing piece. There's one. Where'd the other one go? Hold on. Yep, I probably dropped it on the floor. See what I'm saying about those teeny tiny pieces? You don't necessarily need them, but I kind of want it. Again, those dry clear, so it's not, I'm not worried about any glue showing. I hope I'm still in frame. Yeah, okay. I might have to make another one of these bows because I want it to be complete. And I still have some red scrap, so that's fine. There we go. All right, let me find that red scrap and cut it because I would like my piece to be complete. Uh-oh, where did I put the red scrap? There it is. This Merry Christmas is really pretty. This is the small one. Boy, is it hard to get out of the die though. Okay. Let me just go run this through real quick. Just poke those out. Okay, so what I do is think about how this goes together. Take a look at the picture, and it looks like these go, nope, they don't go like that. Wait, this goes this way. Okay. And those need to be a little bit darker, don't they? Okay, let's just make them darker. Now I know how. Let's get this. Because believe it or not, when you do some ink on there, it still shows the mica through, kind of. Just grab this brush. Okay, get out of the way. All right. So, trying to pick these things up when they're wet. Rub the dye with a used dryer sheet. Oh, that's, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's just going to be a matter of me and my coordination. Seems to me there's a piece missing. Okay. It's so tiny it keeps getting lost. It's right here. Okay, let's grab this piece here. And I'm just going to put a little glue right here on the little place where it's supposed to be glued. Pick this up, lay it on there. Now this itty bitty piece here that I don't even know if you can see goes right here. Now, which way does it go? There, it goes this way. That doesn't make sense, but okay. Now, that whole piece is gonna go right here. So I'm gonna lay on the glue kind of thick because it's going over several layers. And decide on my placement. And we'll let the glue dry. Now we gotta put our little candle And I need it to come down lower, so I'm gonna have to trim it. And what I wanna do is I wanna kinda mark where I need to trim it. Kinda just eyeball it. And I have glossy accents on here that's not quite dry. I just noticed when I got a glob of fingerprint in there. Just grab my scissors here and I'm gonna cut away from the black line. Yeah. And like I said, you can use like washi tape, like sparkly washi tape. You can just paint it with sparkly paint. You can make it not sparkly. It is easier to tie a bow, but I don't have the right color of red. I have some, you know, more of a, this is kind of a burgundy. And that one card that I made, that was the very last piece of sort of a burgundy velvet I had. And bows, meh. Yeah, it might be easier to make a bow. And you could probably just put a jewel right there if you wanted to. Okay, so all we need here is a sentiment. And so I'm gonna grab, and you can put whatever you want. This is my favorite sentiment set. It just has everything and it's just right up my alley. And I'm gonna go with Peace on Earth. Not Merry Christmas, Peace on Earth, okay. And I'll show you a trick I'm gonna do, which is Lisa's trick, so you've seen it, but now I need a piece of paper here. Should just grab a scrap, but I'm gonna be using the Simon Hurley dye ink here, the Game Over. And I'm just gonna set my little, and I like to take the dye to the ink to the stamp whenever I can. And if that gets in there, it's okay, not a big deal, because grungy, right? Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let's just dirty that up a little bit. Well, Paula, I'm sort of on the east. Well, I'm southeast. I'm in Alabama. Okay. And then I'm going to take the Peace on Earth, and I like to lay it so that it's kind of lined up. The letters are lined up with the line. That's what I like about this stamping acrylic block. You can line that up. And I'm going to do the same color. Let's see, I'm getting inky fingers everywhere. Now, I might get my head in the way because this is, I want to get it lined up. Okay, love it, love it, love it. Okay, now for the neat trick. And this also keeps ink from smearing. I'm going to find, which I had out earlier. Now, where did I put it? I find my packing tape. Just going to break a piece off here. Fold up the end so I can find the end again. And I probably used way more than I needed, but That's okay. I'm just gonna lay the packing tape on here. Try and get it on a spot that isn't wrinkly or funky. I'd say don't use cheap packing tape. I'm just gonna burnish that on. I'm just gonna take my scissors, which you guys know I had those earlier. Now they have grown legs. You're joking, right? Where are my scissors? Okay. Did I drop them on the floor? No. I'm gonna cut off this excess first, get it out of my way. Now I do not like having to cut this. You know what? I'll just take my trimmer and trim it, and then cut it with scissors. Oh, they're there. I found them. Not in the right spot. I'm just gonna take and trim this down. Look, I'm not smearing. That's what I love best about this trick. And I'm just going to trim down little corners. I'm going to pop that up on some foam. Y'all, Nancy sent me some stuff. She sent me these sentiments to go with my shoe stamp. They're so cute. Oh, I need a little piece more here. And I like to do these thin ones, just have a better chance of not messing them up. Besides, this is oddly shaped, so you know you wouldn't be able to do one all the way across there. And then I'm just going to take and pull these off of here, pull the backs off. And I do like to take a little bit of glue. So I have some working room here. Just dab glue along there. Dab glue on my finger. And I'm just gonna place that right about here. Eyeball it pretty much. My eye can tell when something's crooked. It just will drive me crazy. So there we go. The point here was basically getting the background down. And again, this one was done. I did also a background stamp in the vintage photo. This is the big Merry Christmas. And these are from another Sizzix Tim Holtz set, which I didn't pull out to show you. And so this one here is a little bit lighter. It seems lighter. You can go as light or dark as you want. You can even go pink in there if you wanted to. You could make those purple stripes, whatever you like. I started to do a yellow one, but it wasn't dry enough. So this is an example of foil. It wasn't dry enough, and then so my foil pulled up, and then I ripped the paper, but I kept the example so you could see that this can be done with foil. Same way, you just want to burnish it down really well. So that's it for the tutorial demonstration here. And so anybody that wants to hang out and I'll show you the happy mail, great. If you're done with me, you're done with me. But let me just get this stuff out here. See if I can get it out without breaking anything or dropping something. So Nancy sent me this template she made, but I already have my wreath maker and a whole bunch of stickers, and she sent me another one of these glue toppers that Gloria made, which these ones are really pretty. Of course, I'll be using the smaller one because the bigger one won't fit. You know where the bigger one will fit though? Probably in my glossy accents. And then this little thank you, and there was another one in here too. I just put them both in the same. A let's party. Yeah, I want to eat lots of cake. And then she sent me this mushroom from Creative Vision. I've never heard of them. Well, maybe I have. Anyway, I haven't played with it yet, as you can see. And then this thinlet set, which is pretty cool. I've got a couple of these in different style. And look at these. Those are gonna go so good with my shoe stamps. I like it. My favorite is, let's see, something I had them put together before it was cool. Love it, love it, love it. And she sent me a Catherine Puller ink, which is the Flirty Fuchsia. I have the mini in this, but it's such a pretty color. And the minis run out pretty quick. One day I'll buy re-inkers. You have the Greenery whole set. This one from My Favorite Things. Wait, Christine, wait, I want some meatballs. I want meatballs. Now, Mike made me a chicken, so. Anyway, that was some stuff that I got from Nancy. And let's see here, what else was I going to show you? I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, so tomorrow night, give you a sneak peek. We're gonna do this one. And it's not gonna be a live like this. I'm trying to make it as a premiere. So I have this done in stages already. But this one is done with that crackly, that new crackle stuff and the new snow stuff. The only thing that, you know, the problem is that stuff's translucent, and so my green started showing through from my tree, and I wasn't crazy about that. So anyways, perfecting that, and I'm gonna complete that video tomorrow, either before or after work. I have to work a couple hours, and I'll premiere it. Do you guys have any questions? Once the video's over, I'll post the picture and the supplies that I used in the description box. I haven't figured out how to do that when I'm setting up a live from my phone yet, so I have to do it afterwards. But yeah, so honestly, and I know it seems crazy that I'm doing Christmas, but honestly, there's probably more than 100 people on my list. And so I want to make sure, you know, I will mass produce for like companies and stuff like that where there's not an actual person, but I want to make sure that every person that I know gets an individual handmade card that's different from anybody else. So that's my hope, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section, and if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I'm live. I'm live every Tuesday night at 5 o'clock Central, which would be 6 Eastern, which would be, what time would it be? Okay, it's in Oregon, it's 2 hours earlier, so it'd be 3 o'clock Pacific, and then I guess 4 o'clock Mountain. Guys, thanks a bunch. I see ya.